Hello, I'm Virginia and I am a freelance medical writer. In this video, we're going to talk about what is an associate medical writer. This one is quite short because it's pretty straightforward. An associate medical writer is someone who does not know how to be a fully skilled, fully fledged medical writer yet. So that means you're kind of like a half a medical writer, or you are an entry-level medical writer. They are pretty much the same thing. So if you're an associate medical writer or an entry-level medical writer, it normally means that you are taking on a job or a role at a company where you will be doing a lot of research and probably writing the skeleton for content. So things like heading, possible references you want to include, and you will be learning from a medical writer or a senior medical writer or a principal medical writer or a director of content or the head of content or the content lead. And essentially you are learning on the job as an associate medical writer or an entry-level medical writer. So the way to get this kind of job is to look for an opening in a company that is offering an associate medical writer role or an entry-level medical writer role. You can normally find this pretty easily on LinkedIn, and the jobs board is pretty good to look at. But I will say it is quite competitive because a lot of people want to get into writing, especially medical writing or health writing. And I would recommend that you have some writing samples in a portfolio so that you can show your potential employer, or you can add it to your job application. The other thing you need to think about is if you do go for an associate medical writer role or an entry-level medical writer role, they will not pay very much, and sometimes they can be really short term, so they'll be 3 to 6 months, maybe 12 months at most. And then at the end of that period, you should get the medical writer kind of title. So you're no longer entry level, you are a fully skilled medical writer. And I would also say that you do not get paid very much. So some people might want to do an associate medical writer role part-time, and the salary range is in the 20 to 30,000 per year, maybe less. But the reason why it's that salary range is because they have to put a lot of money and effort and time into training you. So I would recommend that you do not take the opportunity for granted, and you make sure that you learn as much as possible and you do a good job. It will be difficult, it might feel overwhelming, and you will feel tired, especially in the first 2 to 3 months when you're learning everything. But take the opportunity to ask questions. But equally, if you feel that you are not getting a lot out of the promised role, then, things like maybe you're asking a medical writer or a senior medical writer for help, but they're not giving you anything helpful that you can actually work with. So if you find that you're not getting the training you expected or that you deserved, then you should move on to another role. And of course, you can still freelance at the same time, but check your contract just in case, because most of the time with any type of content, your client will not want you to start talking about what you're doing, because all businesses are in competition with each other. So if they're working on publishing something like a white paper where you are expressing your opinions based on data and what you think will happen and your predictions for the future, then that is intellectual property or proprietary information, and you do not want to be that person that gets let go because you leaked information or you started talking about something that you had signed a non-disclosure agreement or NDA when you have declared that you should not be talking about that topic or what the business is doing. So an associate medical writer, just to summarize, is the same thing pretty much as an entry-level medical writer, and it is you learning all of the skills that you need to be a fully skilled or fully fledged medical writer, and then you'll be trusted to write things on your own and also to produce content that will not need as much editing, for example, and you will be learning from a senior medical writer or another fully skilled medical writer or a principal medical writer or a director of content or any kind of communications manager or communications director as well. So if you do get an associate medical writer job, well done. You're doing great and you are one step closer to becoming a fully skilled, fully fledged medical writer. And I wish you the best of luck. If you want to find out how much a medical writer makes and the typical salary that you can expect once you do qualify, then check out the next video.